Welcome into today's CAD lesson. In today's tutorial, we are going to take a detailed look at the bearing generator in Autodesk Inventor. And so rather than modeling bearings manually, the bearing generator allows you to insert industry standard bearings directly into your assemblies using built-in engineering standards and manufacturer's catalog. This does not only save time, but also helps ensure your designs use realistic and standardized components. And so throughout this tutorial, we will explore the entire workflow from selecting the appropriate standard and bearing category to defining the placement references and inserting the bearing into an assembly. To make the process easier to understand, what we'll do is to work through two practical mounting scenarios. First, we'll place a bearing onto a shaft, and then we'll see how to install a bearing inside a cylindrical housing. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you can leave them in the comment section. I will respond as soon as possible. Let's begin with today's exercise. Now, to generate a bearing, you'd have to do that within an assembly sheet template. And so let's get one. Let's get one by pressing new. And under the metric template, we would pick under assembly, assemble 2D and 3D components, the standard mm.iam sheet template, and create. Straight away, we will go into the second tab here, which is the design tab. And under the power transmission section, you should find bearings. Let's click on that. It says we have to save this assembly before we can continue. So I'll say OK, and I'll call this bearing. Now this opens the bearing generator dialog box. Let's go through the details together. At the top here, we have design and calculations. Our focus is going to be on the design. Now here, we are browsing through angular contact ball bearings. You can change that if you want. I'm going to show you how to do that. But let's just take a quick look at the options here and what they can do. If you have a cylindrical face you want to put the bearing, then you can use this option to select the cylindrical face as the placement reference. You can also use this option to select the planar face or the work plane as the starting reference of the bearing. If you don't like the placement of the bearing and you want to flip it over, you can use this option. And here you can also use these details to specify the dimensions of the bearing. And so here you can specify the outside diameter, which is the minimal outside diameter, and here the maximal outside diameter. And so you can give the range you want Autodesk Inventor to show you. Also, for the minimal required inside diameter, you can choose that from here, and the maximal required outside diameter also from here. If you have a thickness range you are looking at, you can also choose from these options. Now, once you have selected the details you want, this is where it is going to be shown. So the bearings that Autodesk Inventor is recommending to you are going to be shown down here. For now, there is nothing shown, but once we click on update, because of this detail that is specified here by default, we get to see some bearings. And so let me just choose the update option, and now we can see these are some of the recommendations. So here, this is the family, the designation, the outside diameter of the bearings, the inside diameter, which is limited to the inside diameter we've shown here. And so all of the inside diameter of the bearings that has been recommended to us will be 25. And these are the width also. And so if we want to choose, we can scroll down and pick the one that best fits the project we are working on. But let's start with a clean sheet. And so I'm going to cancel this and also cancel that. Now, when I browse, there is an unlimited number of bearings that are shown here, but they are all angular contact ball bearings. To change this, we have to click on this option that says here angular contact ball bearings. And now these are what were shown here. The standard that is shown is the DIN, and the category, like I mentioned, is the angular contact ball bearing. But we want to change these so that we get to browse the entire library of bearings in Autodesk Inventor. So once you drop the standards down, we can choose all. And what that means is that we want to browse the entire standards of bearings that are in Autodesk Inventor. For the category also, we want to see all ball bearing categories. So we are browsing all ball bearing categories and all standards in Autodesk Inventor. We see it's taking time to load that because that is a lot. Now what you see here is a display of the available bearing series within the selected library. It is very important to note that these are not individual bearings. Instead, each icon represents a bearing series, standards or manufacturer specification that groups together bearings with similar design characteristics. For example, you will notice the ISO 104. You would also notice this one, the CSN 024630. You would notice the KSB 2023. So these refer to different international standards or manufacturers catalog that define the dimensions, tolerances, and the design requirements of bearings within that series. But let's just say we don't even want to limit ourselves to any series. Let's just browse the entire library of all ball bearing categories. So I'm going to click on that. Now here we have all of the bearings in there. You can use these details again to filter so that you can get a very small recommendation, and that will make it easy for you to decide the type of bearing you want. But most often, this isn't how you're going to pick a bearing. You would have an assembly inside your assembly sheet template, and you would have a particular cylindrical face, or you would have a shaft where you want to put the bearing. And so let's walk through that scenario. If you have or you know the bearing you want from here, you can just click on it and say, okay, it is going to create a file for that bearing, and it is going to save it where you save this assembly. And so this is going to be the path. You can just say okay, and here you have the bearing. Let me get the isometric view, and so there you go. Right, now let's walk through the other scenarios I'm talking about. And so here I have this assembly, I have saved it, and this is a part I've placed in there. I want to put the bearing here. Later, we would walk through how we can also place a bearing on this shaft too. So let me go back in here, and the same procedure. So design and bearing. Now here I get to choose the details. So for the bearing category and standard I want, for the standard, I'll leave that to all. And for the category, I'm going to choose the deep groove ball bearing. That is the one I want. And so I'm going to browse through the entire library of deep groove ball bearings. And for the cylindrical face, I want to put this bearing. It would be here. So I'll just choose that option and pick this cylindrical face. And here I can also pick the start plane of the bearing. I want the start plane to be from this face. Once I choose this face, we see that the bearing moves inwards. Okay. Now, because I selected the cylindrical face as this, Inventor has measured the diameter of this hole. And it is saying that that diameter is 24, and so it's logged. I can't change it because that's the cylindrical face I have selected to be the maximum and the minimal required outside diameter. Now, also for the minimal required inside diameter, I have to specify that here. Let's say I want an inside diameter of between 8 and then 10. I'm going to put that here. And for the required width also, this is the width I want. And I know that that width is 8. So I can also be strict on that and say that make the width between 8 and then 8. Once these details are specified, I can just update. And here, these are the recommendations Autodesk Inventor is showing me. And so these are the families, the designation. The outside diameter is 24, like I specified here. And for the inside diameter, it should be between 8 and 10. But Autodesk Inventor is only finding 8 for me because of this outside diameter and width I have chosen. For the width also, I was strict on that, and so is 8. What this means is that any of these bearings here is going to fit in this hole. Any of them. If I also want to even browse by standard, then I can drop this down and say let's do the DIN, and again a deep groove ball bearing. So I'll browse that again, and I have now only the German standards. If you go back in there, you can see that. So these are the standards, and then a deep groove bearing. Anytime you go back in there, make sure your category is selected. Okay, so now this is what I have. I can choose any of them. Let's choose the first one, and I would say okay. It is going to create a file for me for the bearing, and it would save it in this part. I'm okay with that, so I'll say okay. And here I have my bearing in here. Let me ground this part so I can see my bearing turn. So here we go. It's as easy and simple as that. Now we would look at the second scenario, and so I have this shaft also in an assembly sheet template saved. Now to place a bearing, I want to put the bearing here. So what I'll do is to go into the design tab, and under the power transmission bearing again, and here again I want a deep groove bearing. That is the commonest type of bearing. So I'm going to drop this down and pick the deep groove ball bearing. For the standard also, I want the DIN, and I want to browse through the entire deep groove ball bearing library. So I'm going to click on that. Now here for the cylindrical face, I want to put the bearing. It's going to be on this face, so I'll select that. And Autodesk Inventor is smart. We see now that will be the minimal required and the maximum required inside diameter, rather, not the outside, like I did for the first one. And so that diameter here, which is 10, is logged in there. So the start plane too, I want that to be this face. But we see that the bearing is going to be inward on this part of the shaft, which isn't what we want. We will fix that very soon. Also, for the minimal required outside diameter, let's put a range in there. Let's say from 20 to 30. And also for the thickness or the width of it, let's not specify anything yet. Let me update and see what we can work with. Okay, so I have the family, the designation, and I have the outside diameter, which is within 20 and 30. So every one of them is going to be between 20 and 30. And the inside diameter, which is fixed, so that is going to be 10, and the width I didn't specify. So there are varied width here. So what I'll do is to just pick the first one. It fits for me. So to have an outside diameter of 26, inside of 10, and then a width of 8, which is fine. So I'm going to select that, and we see that the bearing is placed. But like I said, when we get the right view, this is the bearing placement, which isn't what we want. We want that to be here. So we can use the flip option. Not the flip option. Let me click on the start plane rather. Okay, yes. Once you click on that, it reverses the placement of the bearing. Now I'm going to get the home view, and here we have our bearing placed. Okay, I'm even thinking of changing it to this one rather, so that I can reduce the width. Let's see how that looks. Okay, this looks fine. And so let's okay and okay again. So there we have our bearing. If we ground this, it should be able to rotate. If you want to place another one, you can go through the same procedure. You can also click on it, Control C, and then Control V to paste. And you can assemble with the constraint. So concentrically, you want to put this to that. You apply, and then you put a mate between this face and this face. Let's apply, and you will get the home view. Okay. If in any instance after your bearing has been placed, you want to change it, you can change it from the model browser. And so you locate the bearing. I want to change this one. So you click on it, right click, and you can use the option edit using the design accelerator. So I'm going to click on that. Now that takes me back into the bearing generator. These are the details I had specified earlier. So once I update, we are still working within the deep groove ball bearing. Let me go back in there and be sure. So the standard is DIN, which is fine. Now, if I want to change this, let's say I want the maximal required outside diameter to be 25, then I can put that in there and I would update. So now these are the details I have now. I can pick any of them. I can even change that to 40 and let's update. And I have a number of them now. Let me pick this one. That is much bigger, so we see the difference and know that we've really changed it. Okay, so that is what I'm going to pick. I'm going to say okay. And there I have the change done. Okay, so that is going to be it for this tutorial. I hope this has been helpful. If it has, if you've not subscribed yet, kindly consider doing so. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you can leave them in the comment section. I would respond as soon as I can. Don't forget to share this with your card friends and also save this. I'll see you soon in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.